morning. It's Thursday, the 15th of December, 2022. We're looking at another Advent reflection based today on the Gospel reading taken from the Holy Communion service for today. And the reading details are below. It's Luke chapter 7, verses 24 to 30. If you, as usual, like to pause the video, read through those verses, and then press play when you're ready, and we'll reflect together about them. And this reading is actually Luke's account of the reading that was used the Sunday that has just gone, the third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, and reflects on the issue of John the Baptist in prison asking a question of Jesus, Jesus responding to that when John's disciples come to ask him, and then Jesus challenging those who are around him and the crowds about him as to what it was they were looking for when they went out into the wilderness to see John the Baptist. So I just want to look at a few of these verses, details below as usual, if you want to read them through with me. And I'm reading from verse 24. When John's messengers are gone, Jesus began to speak to the crowds about John. What did you go out into the wilderness and look at? A reed shaken by the wind? What then did you go out to see? Someone dressed in soft robes? Look, those who put on fine clothing and live in luxury are in royal palaces. What then did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. Now, for my own congregation, St. Peter's Chapel, we went through in detail these verses as to the specific things that Jesus is saying when he's asking these questions. Suffice to say, for this short reflection, he's challenging the people, what is your expectation? What were you looking for when you went out into the wilderness to see John? What is it you expected? As we go through Advent, I do wonder often, and pretty much every year now, as society changes, and certainly in England, where many parts of society have moved away from the kind of Christian ethos and background, and it's become more secular, as the recent census information has shown. What is it people are looking for during Advent? In many countries of the world, there are Advent calendars, and I certainly remember when those Advent calendars primarily were ones where you open the door and there was either a reading from the gospel narrative leading up to the Nativity, or maybe a picture of something from the gospel account of Jesus' birth, revealing then, of course, on the 25th, the nativity scene. But these days, you'll more commonly find chocolates or toys behind the doors. But people still engage in it and buy an Advent calendar and look forward to Christmas. But I ask the same question here to them. What are you expecting on Christmas Day? Has Christmas become, for many people, and Advent also in turn, just a time for gathering together with family, for exchanging gifts, and sharing love and warmth with those around us who we love and care for? Nothing wrong with that per se at all. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. But it's not the reason we're celebrating Christmas, is it? And during Advent, I suspect that for many who buy an Advent calendar and kind of eagerly each day open the door and get more excited as they're approaching the big day, what are they actually journeying towards? For those of the Christian faith, Advent is a time of deep reflection and preparation, as we've talked about before, of preparing for the coming of the Lord again, and also as we prepare to remember the Lord's birth, to kind of look at our own lives and see if there are things that we need to adjust or change, or perhaps there's areas where God is speaking to us. But I still have that question. What are people waiting to see or expecting to see on Christmas Day? Is it just a time for family and friends? Has the reason for the season, that phrase which is often used in many church circles, has it been so submerged now beneath the secular celebrations that actually people reach the day and perhaps wonder actually what it's all about? I certainly over the years have spoken to many who struggle after Christmas or on the day when they finally, after all this build-up and expectation, get there and find that it's disappointing or everything is suddenly over and oh well, that often repeated phrase in many households, oh well, wait till next year. Waiting a whole year to celebrate again like that seems an awful shame. But for those who follow the Lord, we, of course, understand that the celebration of the Lord's coming is something we can do each and every day. Christmas Day, yes, it's a high point because we are celebrating and singing and praising and coming together with our Christian brothers and sisters to do so. But we don't stop on Christmas Day and then think, oh, well, we can't celebrate God's gift for another 365 days. That continues every day, or it should do in our Christian lives. If people cannot answer the question of what is it you're looking for, what meaning are you searching for in Christmas, if they are searching for a spiritual depth to the celebration and to also understanding the season of Advent, what is it that we can share with them in a way that will help lead them as well to celebrate and recognize the true meaning of Christmas, God's gift to the world? The fact that God becomes incarnate in flesh. He lives as one of us. He experiences life as one of us. Pain, joy, happiness, sadness, all those things. How can we help people journey to that? We live in an age today where many people are reluctant to engage in religious conversation. They'll talk about spiritual things, but some often do stand a bit back from what they perceive as organized religion. So my question to all of us is, how can we help people who are genuinely seeking during Advent and thinking about the spiritual meaning of Christmas to journey towards it in a way that will help them come to their own realization of the sheer scale and wonder of the fact that God himself, born in human flesh, lived upon this earth, gave his life for us, was resurrected, and through that once in a lifetime moment, once in a millennial moment actually, or more, God interacts with humanity in a way that allows all of us to know him as we've never known him before, if we so wish. My prayer then, as we continue to go through Advent, is let's think about how we can share the message of why we are looking forward with so much joy to this celebration, and how for us, as part of the church, the Christian faith, celebrations don't stop on Christmas Day, but are actually a joy we should carry through the whole year. God bless you, and amen.